Should we buy or sell Sleep Number? First off, read this disclaimer carefully. And do your good deed of the day by liking and subscribing. So we go here to the other themes, and I have a theme that I call Home Improvement. So we have Casper Sleep in the bed business, huge move from the low. And we also have a competitor called Sleep Number, which we will focus on here. They make smart beds, 3.44% here from the 52-week low, minus 66% away from the highs. Here is their website. Take an extra $50 off any bed. So yeah, here you can see the site. It's a decent website. Experience the Sleep Number 360 smart bed. Yeah, this is very, fancy stuff. So adjustable comfort, choose your ideal firmness and support on each side, senses your movements, and automatically responds to help keep you both asleep. And it shows your sleep quality. Yeah, this is very cool. The beds, they look nice as well. Maybe a bit technical looking. I think that the design might appeal more to males than females. That's the only sort of issue I see here. Anyway, let's just look at the charts. So this stock, it's been doing better for sure. Back here in March last year, people were really feeling very, very much bullish about Sleep Number. Sleep Number is going to the moon. But then this happened. So the current price assumes that everything that happened with this stock from here to here was all BS. I don't think so. I think that sounds a bit excessive. Most likely the truth is sort of in between, usually is. So my assumption here is that maybe the bears have gone a bit too far. We have lost all kinds of support levels, so from a moving average standpoint, there's nothing to be optimistic about. Even when we go here to the daily data points, there's no mercy here from the bears. The contrarian in me says that this looks like potential boom, 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 boom horizontal support. So that's something that the bulls could use to help themselves. Because they are certainly not getting any support here from the moving averages. Looking here at RSI, we are at an extremely low level. There has been a time, like during the lockdown, where we did get even more oversold, but the other time we had this RSI level back here, then we did get a bit of a bounce. The other time where we had, a low RSI was here, and that was a key low. The distance between price and the PPOs, which reflect the moving averages here to the left, it's at levels that have formed lows in the past. Looking at the daily data points, in terms of the RSI, let's zoom in a bit here. So we are very oversold. The previous time we had like a very oversold level. You did of course have here, that was a very temporary bounce. Here we did sort of consolidate a bit sideways, but then we broke down. If we go back here as an example, during this low, we did get, it was a bounce, but if we measure it, it was actually, 22-ish%. That's pretty decent. So basically, looking here at the RSI and the PPOs, we have been lower in the past, but we are also at lows that have either created bounces, which are, a bit bullish, or they have created key longer-term lows. the most bearish thing I see here is that accumulation distribution. There's nothing like really strongly bullish here, so there's no sign that there's like some kind of secret bulls gobbling up shares, at least not in any major way. But yeah, so the line in the sand is that we are definitively very oversold, RSI and PPL. So there is an increased probability at least of some kind of bounce. So I do think I will give the technicals here very slightly to the bulls, just a 2. I would sleep less comfortably being short Matterport at these. Okay, not Matterport, but sleep number. Okay, Matterport is a previous video. So sleep number. So yes, I would feel less comfortable being short sleep number at these technicals than being long, because, you know, shorting a stock that is very oversold, that is a way to get into a lot of trouble. Next, we will look at seasonality. Looking at the seasonality here to the right, that is very good. So over the last 5 years in green, 7 in blue, and 10 in red, the seasonality is very strong here towards August. Looking to the left, over the last 5 years, we do see that April is a bit of a mediocre month. May and June are strong. Looking at the last 10 years, then we do see that April, it does close higher 60% of the time, usually a 4% gain. May, June also pretty decent. A big picture over the last 20 years, then April has an average gain of 8%, closes higher 65% of the time. So it is the strongest month of all the months for this stock. So given that the current month, looking long term, is the strongest month for the stock, that's obviously quite bullish. And when we looked at, the average performance over also a longer period, the months ahead, they usually are pretty favorable here to the bulls. So I do think that this warrants, I think I will give it a 5 here for seasonality. This is decent. Looking at the fundamentals, then we do have a number 5 strong sell from Saks. But given that this is a tech stock, well, it is tech-ish furniture, it is very interesting to have an A value score and a C growth score. The industry rank is in the bottom 2% furniture. That's not, bullish. Obviously, market cap $1 billion, no dividend. If we look here at what the insiders are doing, we do see buy, sell, sell, buy, sell, sell, buy, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy. So a bit back and forth here, but at least it's not like we see like sell, 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 sell. That would be bad. So yeah, I would ideally like to see just pure accumulation at these levels, but yeah, I mean, it's a bit mixed. If we look here at the consensus estimates, we have 6 analysts covering the stock. We do have an average 23% price target above, the current stock price. Highest is 48% above, and the worst price target is 6% above the current stock price. In terms of the fundamentals, one of the best things for those who look at fundamentals is certainly value. They are big into value, and an A value score, that's good. It means that when you look at the business, you do the accounting on this company, and you compare that with the current stock price, then there is a major mismatch. The price targets were also very bullish. I will give this 6 to the bulls. Here we have correlations. We have 74% with the S&P 500, 75% with XLI, which is the consumer discretionary ETF. Then we have 87 with XRT, which is the retail ETF. Short term, 10% with SPY, 21% XLI, 80% with retail. And then we have 72% with the Deluxe E, which is a luxury ETF. So yeah, the strongest correlation we do get is with XRT, which means that what happens with the XRT is very likely going to have an effect on sleep number. So here is the XRT, and we are at key moving average support, the blue 100-week moving average. The thing is that if we go a couple of weeks back, we were goofing around that support level. We did get a bit of a rally here, but we don't have that follow through. So we are at support, but it's not that strong. Also, in terms of the RSI, we also are coming from a key support level, but we haven't seen a significant follow through. Yeah, if we go here to the daily data points, yeah, on the dailies here we have a very noisy situation, a lot of erratic price action, as you can see. When it comes to trading, then I am not a huge fan of noise. Noisy market conditions, it can just throw you all over the place. You know, your longs are getting killed, your shorts are getting killed. It's just back and forth all over the place. So yeah. Here is the relationship between sleep number and XRT. The first thing that jumps at me, that's that there are time cycles, but have they been consistent? Yeah, so the issue is that the time cycles, they have differed in duration over time. This is, however, one of those that moves in clear time cycles, which means it's a very good idea to buy low and sell high, this pair. And due to the recent deterioration, we are definitively at a key low in this relationship. Let's look here at the Seasonality Forecaster. Interesting. So over the last 5, 7, and 10 years, leading up until August, sleep number tends to outperform the XRT. That's bullish. Let's look now at the relationship between the XRT and the King, the S&P 500. So there's been a massive change here. We have gone from these very smooth time cycles to now just very erratic, like super strong, super weak. Very wild change. These kinds of violent moves, they can of course be fun because you can very quickly get gains, but there are also situations where you very quickly get burnt if you are on the wrong side of the trade. Let's look here at the Seasonality Forecaster. So over the last 5 years here in green, we usually see the retail ETF underperform here. And well, actually, when we look at the last 10 years in red, 7 years here in blue, and 5 years in green. So leading towards the late part of April, we usually see underperformance, but then we see outperformance here from late April towards early July. I think I will give this one, well, certainly to the bulls, but how much? That's the thing. I think I will give the bulls a 4. This looks nice. So we do end up with a score of 4.3. So the data we have here is more favorable of bullish trades than bearish. And we do see that we are oversold, and we do have seasonality, fundamentals, and relative performance that increases the probability that we will see a bounce or a longer-term low. The problem for Sleep Number is that even though we are definitively dealing with an undervalued stock, and the score we did get here on the fundamentals, it's based on real accounting, the actual real numbers that are very strictly reviewed and regulated. So when you look at the sales, the profits of this company, then the current stock price doesn't make sense. The bearish sentiment has simply gone too far. The problem, of course, for the bulls is that the bulls need backup. They just do. So even though there's good reason now to be bullish, if you put on a bullish position, then you need other bulls to jump off the fence. But if nobody turns bullish, then you will not have more bulls jumping off the fence and getting into Sleep Number. So that's one of the sort of like annoying thing about creating also these kinds of videos, right? Because if I don't turn bullish, then I'm certainly not doing my part. So if I just instead sit, with the fence-sitting bulls, waiting for other people to turn bullish, then it's just going to keep going down. So that's just the way the market works. It's just always been like that. Also, when it comes to bearish trade ideas as well. And that is why I'm such a huge advocate of using stops. Stops are absolutely critical because the market can be way more irrational than you can be liquid. That's a very old saying. So yeah, have a great week ahead and be nimble, market neutral, and use stops strictly.